need to be tweeting this out to my tens of fans.
Tweet it out to the universe, to the ether.
So,
Welcome to the weekly freaking pool.
you're like a '90s wrestler, which is a good thing. That's a very good
Snap
thing.
into a Slim Jim.
Snap into a slim. Snap into a tree. Oh yeah.
They're not a sponsor. Don't you can't say Slim Jim.
We love you, Macho Man. We know you're looking down on us right now. You and Miss Elizabeth.
Oh
Miss
yeah.
Elizabeth, I don't even know.
Are we actually I don't even know if we're actually live.
Are
I
you
think
serious?
I think we are actually.
We are.
One of the greatest mods of all time was for
I
Skyrim,
hate
and
the
it was
chat.
a Macho Man mod. It was a Macho Man mod. So like, in
I
the
remember
opening
that
sequence,
one.
Like Alduin would just be like, "Oh yeah!" Like every time he breathed fire. It was amazing.
Where are we
There's so many
live
great
on?
Skyrim mods.
Where should I be going to look at the chat?
Hearthstone.
Twitch.tv/eligible monster.
Drake, you're a horrible nerd. You don't even know what Twitch is.
I know what Twitch is. I didn't know where we're doing it.
You know what? I hate you all, except Sal and Rob and Faust and Joel.
Oh, Drake.
Man, Drake is really going through the hazing process. I got this like spaced out over a couple weeks.
We already did it to him in like last December, and now he's got to get rehazed.
Hey, I don't care about you. I just got a free video game right here on my watch, so that's nice.
That's awesome. Oh, I like how we're in a
What the
pyramid.
hell?
Yeah, that's fun.
That's
Yeah,
really cool. That's so
I
neat.
just got a review copy. So neat.
That's so cool. Like we're in a
Of what?
pyramid. It's fun.
Ah, my chair.
I will say, speaking of hazing Drake, last night, I don't know if you guys saw this, but last night he tweeted something about roasting him. And I was
Oh,
like,
the roast.
wait, is that actually a thing? And then I realized,
It's gonna be a
yeah,
thing.
dude. Like roast is delicious, man. Like if you throw in
I
like,
don't
some
understand
garlic,
why Drake is always
some
bringing
thyme.
negativity to his online presence. Hi, I'm Trailer Drake, and I want you all to mock me.
Oh, no. Okay, see, I'm getting ready for the roast of MatPat at Retropalooza next year. And I want to do something fun for my 100,000 subscriber special on my main channel. So it's like, fuck it, let's get all my friends to roast me. And then all my
if
friends
you
said
ever-
I had better things to do.
Well, that
if
sucks.
you ever want a hateful drag queen to roast you, I'll be the hateful drag queen.
You already told me about how I can make my junk look all right in my Halloween costume, so I appreciate that.
Wait, what?
Man, I'm
Yeah,
glad
no.
I missed that conversation.
There's a story.
I'm going as Mr. Gold for Halloween, and I have a like a morph suit, and so I'm like, Faust, you probably know about how to tuck. What should I do to hide the bulge?
And I was just like,
information.
and I was just like, wear a jockstrap. Because I didn't want to get into the details of, well, like, there's a point in your crotch where you can just poke everything up into, and I was like,
Oh,
We're
then
live!
that's
Wow.
next level is what
See,
that.
this section is literally going on YouTube. Like this is
I thought this was
All
very
right, guys,
stuff.
welcome to the weekly poll. We're going live early because we're already live, and you're listening to Faust tell you how to tuck your junk. All right, today on the topics of October 20th, 2015, we've got week 2 of all new Marvel #1s. We're going to discuss Sam Wilson and Jane Foster's new Marvel power couple. We're going to talk about the 2 new X-Men shows that I know nothing about. And we're going to discuss Hulk and Thor teaming up in the new Ragnarok show. I am Benny, the comic historian. You all know who I am. I'm the most important one here. That is Faust, the prettiest man in the world. From It's Super Effective, that is Joel, the official 5th member of the cast. On his channel, Kate Joel. That is the Lord and Master of the weekly poll. He pulled all the strings from behind the scenes. Sal from It's Comic Pop. That
What?
is the Vape King. Rob from His Comics Explained. And that is, I didn't think of a funny name to go with them, the man who dresses like Barry Allen, Comic Drake.
Yeah, that's actually accurate.
so
No,
excitable. Like Drake is so excited to be on the weekly pool. Like
No, I am excited. But it
And
is
for those
true.
of you guys asking if I'm hungover, this is going to be my new look. What do you think?
It's very Unabomber. I could see it catching on. It's gonna be the hip new look, for the teens.
Yeah.
I still want to.
I'm trying to stand out from Faust. He's beating me with that current hair, so I'm trying to do something new.
Man, I put that hood back on. With that haircut, I put that hood back on. Dude.
I'm sorry, we all can't have a white man fro going on here, Mr. I cut my fro.
You know, I need to grow it back. Like I really
Let's
do.
talk some comics. What's
Let's
up first,
talk.
guys?
Let's talk about me growing my fro back. Like I need to do that.
All right, so let's open this up. We're also going to discuss the Star Wars trailer. Drake is the most uninterested guy ever in the Star Wars trailer, but we'll get to that later. Week 2 of all new Marvel #1s. What the hell came out last week? I don't even remember.
Uncanny
Spider-Man
Avengers.
2099.
Hmm.
Did Guardians?
Oh,
come
and
out?
thank you, Velvet
Yes, it
Enigma,
did.
for being
Yeah, Guardians
subscribed.
came out.
Oh, Guardians was good. I did like the Guardians kickoff. I thought it did a great job of explaining Star-Lord and him being super bored about being like Prince of the World.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently people miss my goatee. Maybe I'll bring it back.
No.
Eventually.
Goatees are not
Anyway,
cool. Only losers have goatees.
Last week,
Sam
Wilson Captain America came out. Let's see.
No, you're the loser, Joel.
New Avengers came out. Spider-Gwen #1 came out. Spider-Man 2099. The Uncanny Avengers, and some stupid What If Infinity book that nobody bought. Like that came out.
I tried to.
Oh, you're right. I didn't.
Okay, I haven't read any of those What If books. While I pull up a list of the order we're going to go through, someone explain to me these stupid What If books. What
They're
are
dumb.
these?
Like one is
books
like,
are
what
just
if
like-
Thanos joined the Avengers during Infinity instead of fighting against them? It's stupid.
It's just like change one aspect of a popular or expected Marvel event, and then like see how it changes. In the 90s, they made it into like a dark corner where it's like, what if something changed and everything was darker and like more edgy? And then they were like, oh, screw that. Let's just make them actually our books. Let's just make them all dark and edgy anyway.
Yeah, like, what if stories
I
were
prefer.
Cool, but, you know.
I prefer when they do a what if to a story I didn't like. When they did like a what if Avengers versus X-Men and Palmiotti wrote, he's like, no, you know what? I'm gonna write it as it actually should have happened. And that is Magneto knocks off like 5 of them in the first page.
I liked
How
there
about
was
all
what
of
if
the Age of Ultrons, because that book
Yes.
was awful.
I dug what if House of M, which was like, what if like Scarlet Witch was actually in love with Captain America, and that's what the kids look like. Captain America was actually the traitor. It was neat.
Well,
But is it like so? Like the new ones are just garbage then?
I mean, like,
yeah. Well, it depends.
it depends.
I mean,
You have to read them, but like, because nowadays it used to be, what if books used to be like, hey, do you want to write for Marvel? Cut your teeth on some books that don't matter, and like,
That's
you know,
exactly
do,
what they were. Like
do this
what if
whatever.
story was like what if Jane Foster got Thor's hammer instead?
Yeah,
of
what
that,
if-
like,
What if the spider
yeah.
clone survived? Like,
yeah, like I think the first
What
one.
if Jane Foster was Thor? That would be an interesting story.
Oh no, it was not. It was not a very interesting story. Like it was not very interesting at all. But like,
Wait, that was actually a thing?
yeah, like I made a
Oh, yeah.
video on what if Jane Foster
wow.
became Thor. But it was not an interesting story. But like the first one was like, what if Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four
Yes.
instead of being turned down? And that was actually pretty decent. It was kind of funny.
it's first
But,
issue. It's really fun.
But yeah, no, the what if stories are hit and miss. Like with Age of Ultron, like I like the what if story of Hank Pym. What if Hank Pym was an Ultron robot the entire time? Like that was cool. And like what if
What if he was?
yeah.
yeah, like he like at the end of the story he's like, damn, I'm an Ultron robot. And then the story ends. And like
And what ifs were typically bookended by Uatu the Watcher being the narrator of the book. He's like, there are many different universes, and I watched them all, and here's one of them.
yeah, it was a cool
so-
setup. It was
Except
Yeah,
now I'm
really-
dead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was cool.
Basically, a Watu going through his DVR, more or less. What if?
Basically,
What
yeah.
I miss!
Yeah.
Oh, that one was not good.
Yeah, like remember how Original Sin started with Nova's like, hey, Watcher is like, is this what you do? Like that's what he was doing. He was making what if story.
He was just,
So Uatu was
You
making all the
nobody.
fan fiction.
and a Watu's like, don't look over there. That's the movie universe. Don't look, even though that's totally the movie universe.
don't,
All right. Let's move. Leave it to you guys to just throw everything off kilter.
Oh yes.
Can I?
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and hit the first issue that came out of All New Marvel. We're going to skip all these what if bull crap stories.
Hold on, Benny.
What?
Faust had something to say.
I just wanted to say. Can I just- Oh my god.
Oh man.
I miss this every week. Really.
What you guys don't see is that me and Faust do talk normal, just like normal human beings off the podcast.
Can I just say the new Avengers #1? The preview was everything it made me expect it to be. Missed the point of the characters completely, and yeah, maybe
Oh, so we're
sad.
gonna do that one first. All right, new Avengers #1.
Oh,
I had no interest in
I got bored.
books.
Like I
Still
I
on my
was
pile.
bored.
The only one who liked it.
I missed the lead up. I missed the lead up in Avengers World and all the Sunspot stuff. I'll get to it once I catch up.
I
To
mean,
me-
the Sunspot stuff was cool. I mean, it was basically Sunspot behind game. Done
to
and
me,
done.
it just felt like someone had an idea, and someone had to be forced to use these characters, and someone has an art style that they wanted to use, but they couldn't use it on the characters they wanted to do it, so it just ended up being this big old mess that didn't actually go together, and so this story is being forced upon these characters that shouldn't actually be doing the story, and it just feels wrong, like super
So-
wrong to me.
I didn't miss anything because I bought it.
But
but I
hey,
didn't read it.
I mean, you might like it. I mean, if you liked,
I liked it. I liked
yeah, if you
characters
like the
I don't know.
comedic element, like if you like Sunspot, like if you like, okay, if you
I think the
liked
greatest joke
Young
in that one was
Avengers-
the Hawkeye joke. Can we get the other Hawkeye? I really want that.
I mean, if you like the Young Avengers combined with like what feels like '90s action, then like you'll probably like that book.
I like the Young Avengers.
Well, then
I like the Young Avengers, but I hate 90s action.
That's what it feels like. I mean,
Do you like the Maker? Because the Maker is now the villain in this. Yes, Ultimate Reed Richards is the villain in this book now in the fallout of Secret Wars.
I have a feeling that's not going to last, though. I got a feeling he'll be moved into something more like bigger. I think this is just where they're going to reintroduce him.
Yeah, it seems funny that he's, harassing the new Avengers and not like the main Avengers, where it's like, tell you what, you deal with the interns, then you can deal with the boss later.
Yeah.
I will say I don't expect this book to last long, not because it's bad or anything, but because, well, that is one of the reasons I don't expect it to last long. But the Young Avengers books, like no matter where they are, their books have a curse where they don't make it past 12 issues.
Nope.
And if they make it past that, then like it's just side stories.
I'm putting the bet now down right here, Faust. I bet that it'll make it to issue 13, and I bet you $100 it will.
Okay, but that 13th issue will be a side story. Now I'm not betting money because I'm in debt, so...
that 13th issue
Loser
will be like the
shaves his
final
head.
issue.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a bet. Like, I want to know, Faust, take that bet, please. Please take that bet.
No.
Come on, please.
Because he's like, what if it does make it to issue 13?
Yeah.
See, it's a good thing he didn't make that deal with me. I have a gambling problem. I'd be like, yeah, let's do this. Give me the odds.
Okay, all right, fine. I think it's kind of a lame bet because Faust would do it even if it wasn't a bet. Loser has to wear drag for a whole podcast.
Oh, yes. I so want to see Benny and
Faust would
Drag.
do it anyway.
All right,
I so
let's do
want to
it.
see Benny and Drag.
Yeah.
Okay, now what we need to do is we need to launch a campaign to get this story, New Avengers, canceled after like 11 issues.
Immediately.
Like immediately. So everybody stop buying the comic.
Just for this. Just for this.
But no,
Sorry to the
it's
writers
not,
and artists on that book.
New Avengers is not a terrible comic. It's just I never found Robert DaCosta that interesting. Like I thought like the most interesting he's ever been was like when he bought AIM, and I was like, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then that was like, I just never found
Hawkeye's
him
on this
intriguing as a
team. I
character.
like Hawkeye.
Oh no, he has a cool roster. I mean, you've got like Wiccan and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can like warp
It's not
reality,
Wiccan.
and you've got like Songbird,
White
and so
Tiger.
on. Yeah.
No one cares about Wiccan but Faust.
I like characters that can warp reality. I think it's interesting that he can warp reality. I don't think he's cool as a character, but I mean, you've got like Songbird, and you've got like a relatively interesting cast. The problem is it feels like the leftovers. It feels like Marvel was like, well, I mean, we got these characters. I mean, we got to put them somewhere. So let's just put them on a team.
And we've already got an Ultimate team on the go, too, so I guess you guys get Squirrel Girl. I mean, she's really funny in her own book, and it seems like every team needs a class clown now. So, hey, Squirrel Girl, you could be the class clown for this book.
Because you guys read Squirrel Girl, I don't. Has she always had giant squirrel teeth?
Yes.
It's
Yeah, right
when
from the
she was first
beginning.
created.
Okay, yeah, because I know the other one, she didn't have those giant teeth.
Well, her
When
teeth,
Mike
her teeth didn't
Deodato
used to be
Jr.
as
draws
big as
her,
they are.
no. Like
Yeah.
when she was the nanny for the cages, then no, she did not. Like,
Yeah, it's depends.
but every other incarnation does. Like Great Lakes Avengers, yes. Her first appearance, yes. The most recent incarnation, yes. The new show or the new comic, yeah.
Yeah, and like the
what's
size
really-
of her teeth changed from from artist to
Oh,
artist.
yeah.
Like they're not always as big as they are now. Like sometimes they're smaller, sometimes they're bigger. Like in her first appearance, her teeth were fucking huge. Like,
Yeah.
And
Well, they're
what's really
huge in the new
interesting,
Avengers.
Yeah.
and what's
So
really
she's
interesting
in
is
this
in her
book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
and what's really interesting in her first appearance, she actually had squirrel eyes as well, and they got rid of them
Yes.
because they were
Yeah.
really terrifying.
She
They
was
were
just like so
creepy.
uncanny valley. There was like no like it's more humanoid. It was just kind of like disgusting as opposed to
Yeah.
like interesting and cool.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Give
It's
me one
probably
second,
better
guys.
than her current comics art style.
Oh yeah, no, I do remember that. I've seen those images of her with those weird like blacked out eyes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like her current comic.
I love it.
When is it starting back up, actually?
Need to catch up.
Oh,
Should be
soon.
starting up soon. Yeah.
All right, next on the roster, so we can move through these quickly because we do have Star Wars to discuss and a bunch of other stuff today. Captain America #1. Apparently, he fights white supremacists now.
Yeah,
conservatives.
he
and
he
Fox
fought the
hates him.
Sons of the Serpent, and friggin' Fox News freaked out about it. It's like, oh, he's going after conservative values. I'm like, he's fighting snake Nazis, guys. What do you want?
If you identify with them, then that's on you.
Yeah,
I
no,
love that
conservatives are
Fox
just
News
snake
came
Nazis.
out in defense of the snake Nazis. I think that's amazing.
That would
It's
be
like,
a Fox News thing to do.
yeah.
Really would.
Yeah.
I thought the book was all right. Like I don't
I
really
liked it.
know how to feel about it. I'm excited that Steve is hunting him down for some reason.
Yeah, what the
I just love the comment of him landing to save people, and they responded with Captain Socialism.
which is very Nick Spencer. That's totally like, of course, people know him from Ant-Man and Superior Foes and everything, and he's putting a comedy spin on it. Like, it's still got all the action, but it's funny too, and I appreciate that.
Right. I liked the scene where the kids were holding up the bottle caps to his eyes to figure out that he was Captain America. That was amazing.
No, I mean, I think it was, because I see you guys are talking about Sam Wilson, Captain America.
Yes.
I think it was, man, I'm glad they made that story.
Yeah, no, I like
because I'm glad he's finally getting a title, because it feels like Marvel's finally recognizing, okay, he is like the Captain America now, as opposed to, because up until Secret Wars and up until now, I guess it always kind of felt like Marvel was like, well, I mean, yeah, he's Captain America, but is he really? Like, let's just kind of wait and see what happens.
We don't know if we want to full on give him the Captain America
exactly, But now we have the title, Sam Wilson, Captain America. So
yeah,
I like how as far as I can see in all different Marvel before Secret Wars always seemed to be really, really affected by the people that were like, oh my god, there's too much diversity going on in Marvel, like, you can't have characters suddenly black and female, like, no, because black people and females don't exist in real life.
They don't buy comics.
They don't?
They don't.
They don't exist.
No, I'm saying that's their problem.
But then, like, after Secret Wars, and now we're in all different Marvel, they're just like, we're just gonna do what we want. We don't care. Yeah. Stop reading us. That's fine. It's not for you.
We have these movies that make billions. We don't care.
So we can experiment as much as we want.
Like, we're literally going to start releasing comics that just have stick figures. Fuck it.
That's actually true. Like, the fact that they are so well... Like, it used to be that Marvel was like, well, this is it. Like, this is all we have, guys. Like, we've got to make books that sell, because otherwise we're done. But now that they have this huge bankrolling mouse behind them, like, they can literally be like, because, like, DC Comics is kind of like, I mean, to the point where, Warner Bros. Is like, it's a depreciating asset, get rid of it. Like, that's how much DC matters to Warner Brothers.
An example with that is Marvel doesn't care if the books sell or not. They're going to try them. DC tried DCU and immediately started to see a decline, and they're like, no, go back.
Oh yeah.
Gotta reel it back in.
Oh, dude, I was talking to my comic book guy, and I was like, so how are sales going with Jim Gordon as Batman? And he's like, they're not very good.
No.
He's like, people want to see Bruce Wayne Batman.
Views have plummeted from my weekly reviews. They went from getting like 10 to getting about 5. They have been cut.
I was going to do that. That's why I kind of held off.
You were only getting 10 views in that video?
Nah.
Now you're getting 5 views in that video?
I know, right?
Like, I thought about doing a Jim Gordon thing, but I'll probably hold off and, when Bruce Wayne comes back and be like, and by the way, Jim Gordon was Batman for a while. Done. But
they feel like they're even rushing the resolution with him. I don't know if you guys read the newest issue, but it was basically like, okay, Jim, you're out. You screwed up. You're out. We're doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they literally fired him in the last issue. I'm like, this feels like this got rushed along. Is what?
How do you fire Batman? Like, I know that he's like a
police
police
RoboCop Batman
thing. Yeah,
OCP fired Batman. That's the.
He lost his corporate sponsor, is what.
Yeah, exactly.
They're claiming they're like, oh, everyone can be Batman. We don't really need a Batman anymore.
I get that. I just love that somebody fired Batman.
Yeah,
it's true.
Like, don't worry, you can handle the transition to the next Batman.
Yeah, you can help train your replacement.
But even then, they ended it with like, well, no, that's the best part. Like, because I feel like the Snyder was actually leading up to this point where the company was going to fire Batman, and then Batman was going to be like, no, Batman doesn't need a sponsor. I'm going to go rogue, and then Gordon will go off the grid and then team up.
Saved them from Mr. Bloom. And although I like Jerry Power, she says, I have a new initiative, a Beyond initiative. It's
oh my god, how many friggin' Batman Beyond references can we hammer?
But no,
but keep in mind, we'll never give you the Batman Beyond you want.
No.
Oh yeah, it's always
going
to be somebody. It's never going to be like Terry McGinnis.
You'll need to have like the 4th-rate Tim Drake.
Hey guys, don't worry. We brought you Barry McGonagall.
Well, every time I think about like Batman Beyond, like I think of that scene from The Goods, Play Hard, what is it, Live Hard, Sell Hard?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Craig Robinson, like when he was a DJ, he's like, Bo Bice, his brother is coming. And that's how I always feel like DC's like, hey guys, like Batman Beyond's here, Terry McGinnis's cousin is going to be playing Batman Beyond. It was
like, the Batman Beyond book doesn't make sense to me because I love Tim Drake. I've loved everything Tim Drake's ever done. Like, he's my favorite comic character. And then the Batman Beyond book, I'm like, I'm getting it because I own everything Tim Drake's ever been in. Right. But, oh my god, I hate this so much.
Well, I love it. It doesn't feel like Tim Drake, and it doesn't feel like Terry McGinnis. It's like a weird, like, amalgamation. Did I say it right this time?
You did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, okay, guys, for those of you guys who don't know in the pre-show, Benny said alagum, or alagum or something like that.
There you go.
This is actually the first time
Alligamator.
I've ever heard you say amalgam properly.
Well, I always messed with you, but then I got into the habit of the way I was messing with you. Is like how I started just saying it.
Alagum. An alagum.
An amalgam of characters. All right.
Well, to go back to what they were saying earlier, is that how Marvel kind of does whatever the hell they want. I loved that variant cover on Secret Wars where you had the Ultimate Universe and 616 fighting each other, and 616 looked like the Bizarro universe with a black Captain America and a girl Thor.
Yeah.
Well, it reminds me of the old, like, the DC versus Marvel book where, like, everyone had these awful flash-in-the-pan costumes, and you were like, look, you finally get to see Captain Marvel versus Thor, but Thor looks really stupid, and you really can't recognize him. Like, the image of 616 finally facing off against 1610 or whatever it's called, you're just like, what is, like, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
But I mean, I love it. I mean, I think.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool. Like, it's great that like Marvel is diversifying and changing it up and like and sticking to their guns a little bit. Like Sam Wilson, Captain America could have literally been a 6-month idea and then been like, oh, moving on.
Oh look, he got his youth serum back.
Yeah, or like they finally cracked that super soldier serum, and Steve Rogers like, give me it.
I will drink all of it.
He's still, and like Steve is still around, and Steve is old. He's old as hell, and he's gonna stay old as hell for like the.
Oh, let's discuss that for a minute. Why has nobody cracked the super soldier serum? It has now been in Marvel Comics like 80
like 1,000 years,
and no one can do it again.
They kind of did when they gave it to the Sentry, and it was a whole lot stronger.
Well, there's like the Infinity Formula. He could just keep taking that like a drug.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Here's a bigger question about the Marvel Universe. America must be really bad to live in because you have a lot of supervillains. You never hear about that going on in the rest of the world in the Marvel Universe. It's just America.
Well, no, it's the land of opportunity.
New York.
It's the land of opportunity, you see. Villains know they can steal a lot more, and they get a lot better stuff here. That's what it is.
Yeah, no one's gonna go steal stuff.
That's exactly what it was. Like Excalibur didn't even fight villains from Britain. They fought villains from other dimensions.
Yeah.
if you're a petty crook with a dream and a costume, you can make it in America.
You can make it in America. You can even have your own book called Illuminati. Like,
it's true. If you can fall backwards into some radioactive waste or get pelted by a laser beam or something, you too can live the dream of getting beaten up by
jackass
superheroes.
with powers, come to America. We'll give you it.
I would love to see a comic that's set in the Marvel Universe, like there's just someone trying to avoid interacting with these heroes because they know they'll become a main character, and that's all the comic is.
Yeah, like Whirlwind goes to Wales, and he's like, this is great.
But no, like okay, to kind of touch on Steve Rogers for a second, I actually really like what Marvel's doing with him. I like how they're making him like the new Nick Fury. I really like that idea.
What happened to the other Nick Fury? Like,
are you serious? He was in Original Sin. He was on the moon. Like they left
him on the moon. He probably still is there. I guarantee you he's still there.
But what I'm saying is that Nick Fury Jr. He became Nick Fury.
Yes.
What happened to him?
No, okay, he's Nick Fury. Yeah, he's Nick Fury because of the movies. I'm talking about Nick Fury, not the
Tom
let's
Selleck,
try
not
to
Samuel
make
L. Jackson.
Yeah, let's try to make Samuel L. Jackson popular. No, I'm talking about like the Nick Fury that was in Marvel Comics throughout like every major story and always appeared somewhere. Like
again, he's on the moon still.
He's on the moon still.
Because the Black Nick Fury in current all new all different Marvel looks older. I'm assuming that's going to be 1610 Nick Fury.
Yeah, see, I had that theory too from the Spider-Man because they never said he's just like, hey Nick, but he's older and looks even more like Samuel L. Jackson. I'm like, wait, if the maker's here, does that mean he stayed? And it's like, well, our Nick Fury's gone, so how would you like to just lead the organization?
Does anybody remember when like he jumped ship and he was like when Ultimate Nick Fury left the Ultimate Universe for a while, and I guess he was in the Squadron Supreme universe for a while? For me, I was like, why didn't they just have him jump ship to the 616 universe and then just kill off regular Nick Fury and then not have to do the whole like, no, he's my son, Nick Fury Jr., and he climbs through the ranks and then he loses his eye. Like, what a ridiculously circuitous
They actually did a really amazing S.H.I.E.L.D. special. I don't know if you guys were reading the 50-year anniversaries of S.H.I.E.L.D., but they did.
I love those.
They were fun. They did an amazing time-traveling tale where Tom Selleck, Nick Fury, meets up with his son in like the 60s during like the Watts riots, and they fight they fight the hate monger. And then they have to stop the hate monger because the hate monger went to Honolulu to assassinate Barack Obama while he was a small child.
Wow.
This is a real. I reviewed this on my channel. You can see this. This is real.
I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna set Marvel Comics the attempted assassination of Barack Obama. Like, I'm gonna call it that or something.
They call him Barry. It's like, the hate monger's going to Honolulu. What could he possibly be doing? Hey, Nick Jr., you know what that's about? Oh no, we gotta get there. Because he knew exactly what it was. And again, here's the best part. They pull hate monger away, and he says, I was gonna make America great again.
Oh my god.
But
wow.
no,
I thought he was gonna be in Kenya, but for some reason he's here. This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. No, but to touch on what Sal said, the reason why they didn't do that is because when Nick Fury left the Ultimate Universe, he went to the Marvel Cinematic Universe to record some scenes. And then he came back.
So brilliant if they did that. If they were like,
awesome.
no,
He was multiverse hopping. All right, next book on our list is the Guardians of the Galaxy #1.
Yep.
Not the worst. Not
I
particularly
loved it.
interesting to me.
It was fun.
Have you read all the way up to this? Because it just picks up where it left off.
It really
Yeah.
does. Yeah, if you were in any way curious about how Guardians was going, keep reading because it's the same thing.
Well,
Right, no,
that's
it
why-
literally, Peter Quill is now the leader of Spartox. Kitty Pryde's taken over. The ongoing joke now is they have a better Star-Lord.
I mean, okay, I will say this. I think Kitty Pryde as Star-Lord is actually pretty awesome.
She's great.
She's actually pretty amazing. Like, she's a
She can
she's
take out a
really
whole
great character.
fleet of warships just on her own. Like, regular
That's what I'm
Star-Lord
saying.
couldn't do
Like,
that.
like she knows
Right,
how,
well,
she knows how to get
you know
shit
what I
done.
think is awesome is because I mean we're used to all these flipping around. Thor, oh, it's still Thor. We're still gonna call him that, even though we all know it's not.
Yeah.
And oh, he's still Captain America, even though he's not. That's why calling it Sam Wilson Captain America makes sense.
Yeah.
This one, they're not even trying to play that off. They're like, oh no, it's Star-Lord's girlfriend. She's wearing his jacket. She has the clothes. That's all.
Like, she literally showed the night at his house and said, I wonder what it would be like to be him, and then took his
Yeah,
clothes
I
for
mean,
it.
like, they're
And
not even trying to play it off like, oh no, Peter Quill's gone. He's retired. Like, half the book is him being like, I want to go hang out with my friends. I want to go. I want to go.
My new job sucks. I can't hang out with the boys as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not terrible at all. I mean, it's not really for me so much as it is just it's not. Yeah, I guess it's just not really for me, and it's not because I think it's a bad book. It's just because I was never like one of the most avid readers of Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, it's, I mean, I kept up with it enough to know what was going on, but it wasn't as though I was going out every weekend. Like, if I get anything this week, it has to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was.
Oh, really?
Like even if I was going out, like, some days I'll go out and get, I got to pick up a couple books because I'm traveling, and we'll read the rest when we get back. Guardians is always on my pull list. Like, I will read Guardians no matter what. I gotta read them Guardians. Gotta hammer them Guardians home. I gotta.
Guys, we're
gotta
doing
keep
the big
pushing
important
ceilings.
thing, though.
What?
Where's the rest of the Infinity Suit if there's just the gauntlet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that was the best joke ever from the thing.
But, like, what if it wasn't just a throwaway joke? Like, holy shit, if there actually is an entire Infinity Suit of armor.
So they've got like Infinity Gems on their kneecaps and like on their elbows and stuff.
There's the infinity shades that are, diamonds in them that you gotta put on.
They gotta look like those
Infinity
'90s those '90s
Infinity
sunglasses.
Wouldn't it be great if they like find a proper suit of armor, like, and it's like the Infinity everything, and then they find the shoes and they're like the Infinity thigh-high boots.
Oh god, the Infinity platforms.
Infinity Cape.
Oh, so it's one of those
the dead
suits.
fish in them from the Simpsons platform shoes.
Yes.
Yes. Like that needs to happen. I would so love to see that if like they have like a full page thing, and it's just like Kitty Pryde standing there, just like I am all powerful, and she's just got like infinity
solid
stones all
gold.
over her. Yeah. Like, really?
But doesn't she still have her cosmic powers? I don't think she gave them up after Black Vortex.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Like,
She doesn't look
Gamora still
cosmic.
does, and that's how the issue ends with Gamora showing up. But
Look, just as long as we can have an infinity rhinestone, jacket that I can wear,
nice.
I'm fine.
Oh god, yes, like a Michael Jackson rhinestone
Flocky
jacket.
Bot says the Infinity Condom.
Oh,
That would be a very
All
like
powerful.
Well, hey,
I will
you
say,
want to
like-
be safe.
yeah.
an
I
infinity
will say,
Cadillac.
like, half of my reason for keeping up with Guardians these days is Kitty Pryde, because, like,
Awesome.
okay, but,
if you say so.
like, for years and years now, I've been saying, like, considering the amount of time that Kitty has been around, she is really underdeveloped, and
Yes.
Guardians has given her that development that I've wanted for her.
I thought all new X-Men did a good job of giving her some character finally.
Well, the problem with Kitty Pryde is that like she was obviously she was huge under Claremont's run, but then after that she was like almost all the X-Men except for Storm and Cyclops, where it was just kind of like, yeah, they're there, and
Yeah.
they do stuff, you know.
Or she wasn't.
Or she
like,
wasn't.
except when they didn't use her. I think Whedon did a bunch of nice stuff. Like, did an interesting. Made it a couple of nice decisions with Kitty Pryde, but like,
And then killed her off.
and then well, no, you know, they killed her.
Nerf, actually.
She was
to
just,
quote
you know,
Magneto.
flying through space for like 5 years. That was
Yeah, and then
that's not
Magneto
killed.
got her back, and she didn't eat or anything for months. Yeah, that makes sense.
Dude, I love
For
when
the
Sal
record,
does that. Sal's like,
speaking
Nerf,
about a Claremont
actually.
Yeah.
Did you find it odd, too, Cassell, you were there, that at New York Comic Con, Chris Claremont just had, like, a table in the back, no one ever there?
I did the first time I saw Chris Claremont at a card table in the corner of a big con,
That's
and
what I was
no
saying.
one giving a crap. But I will say, actually, it's funny because Benny was saying like, nobody cares about these old creators. Look at Chris Claremont, nobody's over there. The next day, he had a line around the damn room.
Oh,
like,
did he?
Really?
Nice.
yeah, like people were like, "Oh crap!" Like someone friggin' noticed, like, "Oh my God, Chris Claremont's here," and nobody cares. And then people were like, "What? Chris Claremont's here? Let's form a line."
You know, if I ever met Claremont, I'd be like, tell me about your inspiration for the Hellfire Club. Tell me all about that. That sounds like a fun story, I bet.
That sounds like an Eyes Wide Shut story. Well, I went to this key party.
Yeah, really. I'm just hanging on his every word after
Yeah,
that. You
this
don't
is
say-
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Record.
Yeah,
tell me the
until
dirt
he-
man.
Until he went to DC, and then he wrote what was it? He wrote the Sovereign Seven, like this like terrible comic book.
Well, or his Big Hero 6 book series.
I love that.
Don't worry
I
about
like
that.
Big
all right?
Hero
Wait,
6.
We're
Claremont
not,
Big
we're not worrying. We're not worrying about Big Hero 6. We're worrying about Sovereign 7 and how bad it was. That's what we're worried about.
I'm just saying that his track record isn't quite as flawless.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
All right, so what does everyone think of radioactive Spider-Gwen?
Don't
I
care.
didn't read it.
fan of her in the
Actually.
first
I
place.
thought it was good.
I liked it, but my issue with that is that it literally, like, of all the stories so far to pick up where they left off, it literally opens with a previously on Spider-Gwen.
Yes.
Not even 8 months later, just last time on Spider-Gwen. This is what was up.
8
So
months ago,
sorry we had to
Spider-Gwen.
restart.
Yeah.
So,
I have like this love-hate relationship with Spider-Gwen because I feel like it was a great gimmick, but I don't see it evolving beyond the gimmick of, oh my god, it's Gwen Stacy, but
Thank
she's
you.
Spider-Man.
They didn't get
No,
to
I mean,
evolve
you
it
can-
because they had to
much.
cut it so short is why.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can tell that too. Like when they made it, they were like, she was not supposed to be a popular character. Like we made her as a one-off.
Yeah.
No,
Into Spider-Verse.
did you see the Dan Slott interviews with her? That
Yes.
like the entire thing came out of he designed his own look for her, and one of the other artists came up with that look, and they
Oh,
decided to go with it, and that's literally where it
Yeah.
started.
Wow.
This is just proof that that like classic Image could happen at any time. Because a really cool drawing will catch fire and make careers for people.
Oh,
yeah,
and that's
like-
exactly what it's done. She's
That's exactly
become
what
an
it did.
entire character with her own multiverse now, her own world. They just
Yeah.
introduced Captain America into it. I mean, like,
Yes. And Captain America is a woman of color. How amazing is
Okay,
that?
see, I was wondering because I haven't read that, but I thought that's what they were going to do, and that's what I talked about in my Spider-Gwen video. I was like, of course, all new, all different Marvel, they're going to expand. I kind of figured that would be the case. It wouldn't make any sense to
Yeah.
just like never reference any superheroes besides her. Just be like, she's the only one here.
well, they've already
Well,
done Punisher. They
They
started
did
with Punisher. the first
the Punisher they put in there. Like
Oh, did they? Okay.
See,
And,
I would-
and Ben Grimm, but he's a cop, and
Yeah.
Frank is a cop.
Nancy Street, Herpa
See-
Derp.
See, I would have loved it if they went the full way with her multiverse and just made it an entire gender-bent multiverse.
Yes.
Well,
That'd be
so
nice.
far, oh no, they haven't because Frank Castle and Ben Grimm. They're both.
Yeah.
Well, no, okay. See, I was
Peter
talking
Parker's
about
still a
like,
guy.
And
like,
Matt Murdock, who is now the kingpin of crime, not Daredevil.
which I called when that first issue came out. I'm like, oh, cool, Matt Murdock's the Kingpin. They're like, no, he's his lawyer. I'm like, oh my god.
But then they turn it around and go, well, actually, while he's in jail, I'm totally the kingpin. And also, I have ninjas, so I'm also the leader of the hand, too. at the
Yeah,
same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I love the idea of Matt Murdock being a bad guy in another universe.
It is
oh,
fun.
yeah,
He's a
that's
fun
cool
bad guy.
concept. Oh, he's an awesome.
The
bad
only
guy.
problem
He's a
I
great
have
bad
with
guy
this
when
is
he's a good guy.
Spider-Man.
The only issue I have with Spider-Gwen, I love the character, I love the book, I love what they're doing with it, and I love that they're not trying to tie it in and just turn it into Spider-Woman the 5th, like,
And
it's
yet-
just another 616
And
Spider-Girl.
you say that, but she's going to be getting a crossover soon with Silk and the other
Well,
Spider-Woman.
and
so
that's
they will-
fine crossover-wise, but she's getting her own universe that she can
Yeah.
excel at as opposed to just being another female
That's fair.
Spider-Person. Well,
Yes.
is it just me? I love the costume, all except for the shoes. It just looks to me like she's wearing Crocs.
I would like to
They're-
take a
they're
second to draw
comfortable.
your all's attention to the comment section, to the chat, where people are just coming up with these most ridiculous names.
They're not coming up with that. You know that was an entire month of alternate variants. covers.
What? Was it
And as a
really?
matter of fact, one of them was once again so popular. Gwenpool is getting a book.
Oh yeah, I know Gwenpool's getting a
Great.
book. See,
But
that
they made
is-
like
that
Doctor
shows you-
Strange
Well,
Gwen.
there's
They
a
made like Gwen
Gwen
Vereen.
Yep.
See that tells you like how far out of touch I am with like Gwen Stacy.
Variant
like, how-
covers?
Yeah, like Gwen Stacy, like how little I care about her. Because
What was that?
yeah.
I think that was like 3 months ago. It was like all variant covers or something
Yeah,
like
that
that.
was a while ago.
yeah, I know the Gwenpool thing caught on, and they're going to do a Christmas special for that. Which anything Deadpool is going to catch on. But
Also,
Honestly,
you gotta just add the word pool to it, and you get a funny character.
Yeah.
All right, so basically, I mean, my only complaint with it is, like, of all the fresh reboots, like, they didn't even try.
Oh no.
Well, like,
But
dude, it
why
was
should
so
they? They
new.
were-
You can't like reboot a damn thing that was a year old. Like, come on.
Well, and I agree with you, which is why when they kicked off the book, we were all like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But you did it, so at least start with a fresh story explaining things, not being
It's
like,
like-
last time.
Why did they end it? Like, it's not like it's not like the team that does Spider-Gwen was busy during Secret Wars. Like, just put the damn book out. Like, who cares?
Okay,
It's a totally different universe.
So then here's my question: does Spider-Gwen #1 pick up from Secret Wars? Like, did Spider-Verse
No.
happen in Spider-Gwen?
Spider-Verse happened.
Not by the
yes,
looks
but
of it, it didn't.
No,
Spider-Verse
I don't mean.
Secret Wars did not.
No, I
So
don't,
she's
mean,
out.
I don't mean Spider-Verse like Dan Slott Spider-Verse. I mean Spider-Verse like the Secret
no.
Wars tie-in.
Oh, no,
no.
she doesn't make reference to
Okay,
it.
I didn't know if she did or not. Okay.
but honestly, I
Although they're
feel-
getting their own book, The Web Warriors, which looks like it probably will have to make reference to that because it's the same team and they're traveling throughout time and space.
And
I'm
Gwen's
a
out
Spider-Man
too.
fan, and I'm so sick of these spider characters.
Like, they're really trying to push all of these spider women, like all the different ones, and they still don't have my favorite Spider Woman, which is Matty Franklin. It's like,
No.
you're really trying to push this. Just push it a little bit more.
I just
please,
want to see more
please.
Anya Corazon. Like, let's just get her back.
Oh, we're not getting her back
Why
either.
do you want to see Anya?
Why not?
Because he likes her name.
I guess. Like
She was a fun-
Yeah, I like
you got
Jessica
Julia
Drew,
Carpenter,
and
you
now
got
she's
Jessica
getting her own
Drew.
thing where she's pregnant, so we'll see where that goes.
They should have
Oh,
just
God.
killed all of them and just made one spider female character.
They should have
like-
just made things the way they used to be, because I don't like change.
I like the only ones they killed.
That's right,
in-
Rob. That's how you feel.
I mean,
I like to-
didn't they kill all of them and then blind one of them in Grim Hunt? And
No,
then
they only killed one, and it's the one you liked.
well, they killed Madam Web as well, and I liked her.
Who
And then
cares?
they made
Yeah,
a
well,
new Madam Web.
Madam
I like
Web, I don't really
Silk.
count as a Spider Woman. I think she's just more of a mystic character. I
She's a
see.
spider-
I just feel like they're constantly making new ones, because you just brought up a great point there, Drake. Silk!
Silk is amazing.
I like Silk. Thank you. Are we Silk Bros, you and me, Drake?
No, no,
Or-
Silk
I
is
wanna
fucking awesome.
fist bump for
Why is
Silk.
she working for Black Cat? I need to know.
Because she needs to
Right.
get information on her family, and Black Cat has that information. So come
Because-
work
That's
for
Or
amazing.
at least she says that they are. Like,
Because they
They're
need to
still,
make a story that's kind of
they're still
interesting,
making
but maybe
references to
it's-
Gwen versions, by the way.
Are they-
Nice.
See, I'm glad I'm not missing out anything on Silk. Like,
Silk is
Spider-Gwen
fun.
for me was like I wanted to like her, but then I tried reading the book and I gave it a couple more issues to try to read it. Spider-Ham really made me not want to ever pick
yeah.
no, I disagree. Spider-Ham is amazing. Like, I
But like
love
realistic.
Yeah, but you also like
Peter
had-
Porker is fucking awesome.
No,
it's a
Spider-Ham
pig
is
who's a
something-
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just that the hallucinating
Yeah.
Spider-Ham,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
stupid. And so I tried.
Well,
I,
Spider-Gwen, that wasn't Silk.
no, I'm going back to Spider-Gwen.
Oh, so Gwen, okay.
Yeah, because I picked up the new issue one thinking, okay, cool, fresh story. Hopefully they got rid of that asshole Spider-Ham. They did
Nope.
that part, but no.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm so sick of that Spider-Ham. I mean, like, I was actually. It's funny, hard to imagine that, like, when I was reading Spider-Verse, the slot version, I was like, oh no, I think they're gonna kill Spider-Ham. Not only did they not kill Spider-Ham, but they amped him up to 11. It's like, all right.
The worst is that, like, the people that I vent to about comics generally don't read comics because most people don't read comics.
Yep.
And then I talk about Spider-Ham, and then they just start talking about that one song from the Simpsons movie.
Oh
And-
my
yeah.
God, Spider-Pig.
Spider-Pig. Yeah, Spider-Pig, yeah. All right, guys. Speaking of Spider People, Spider-Man 2099 started up again.
Awesome.
Enjoy.
I love Spider-Man 2099.
I like the first arc. I
will
haven't
give
been
this-
back since.
I love the new concept where he shows up and he's literally like, I'm not going to be Spider-Man because there's like 20,000 Spider People.
Exactly. That's fair.
But then he says, fuck it, I'm gonna go be on Ninja Warrior. What? Like, he's not even trying to hide that he's a superhero.
No.
And I love it.
Yeah, no, I will say, I mean, I was kind of hating the last Spider-Man 2099 run, but this
Ugh.
first kickoff's pretty good. And he goes to the future to see if he can fix the future, basically, you know?
I might give it a shot and see how I think. I mean, I like the future that he was in, you know, with the whole Thor cult and all that kind of stuff. Like that was a cool
shock that
idea. Oh, whatever.
I see what you did.
I see what you did there.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Oh, but come on, the new costume. I can't believe we haven't seen it in the comic yet, but it looks so good.
Yeah.
It's all white and red.
Guys, what if it's just the variant cover?
Oh.
Thanks for crapping all over everybody's excitement there, Benny.
I mean, like, he's
Shut up,
done
Gwen
that Day of the
Rob.
Dead thing forever. It's time to
I
switch.
like that. I like that design, but I also only really like Rick Leonardi's version of it. I prefer the 1992 Spider-Man 2099, where it's like it's this dystopian future. Superheroes are mythic characters. I love that. It's just Blade Runner with Spider-Man in it. Like that's freaking cool. But then like Peter David's like, yeah, and then look at all these stupid Avenger characters and blah, and it's like, oh no.
Look, Captain America's Thor now.
Yeah, like, oh god. Like,
you know what made me sad about that whole 2099 thing is that clearly David was working up to some big crossover with his Uncanny X whatever team. Like clearly those were supposed to be together, and he was working up to something huge. And they're like, "Yeah, sorry, we're gonna have to cancel your X-Men book, but you can have the Maestro in your next arc."
And he's like, "Oh, I like the Maestro." You know, I invented him. Like, yeah, we know, Peter.
I feel like that was done with some of the comics where the writers were like, all right, like where Marvel was like, just keep on making story arcs. And Marvel was like, you know what? Like, just stop everything.
Yeah.
Like we're doing Secret Wars.
Hey, I got a great idea. You know how you're building up this thing and it'll only be 4 more issues? You're fired.
Hey, you know how Ant-Man had a really cool redeeming arc? Let's let him fuck a supervillain and then the world's gonna end.
Yeah.
Also, a bunch of old people are young again.
Yeah, I like that story quite a bit. Actually, and I'm excited to see for this week coming is that it looks like he's now hanging out with even more of the villains, like Whirlwind.
I'm excited for that. Like, I'm really
well, it's
looking
just a
forward to that.
backdoor pilot for Nick Spencer to be like, "Yay, Superior Foes is back!" You're everybody.
I love that he slowly brought over all the Superior Foes characters.
What would you do if, like, the comic is now 2 pages Ant-Man, all Superior Foes, 2 pages Ant-Man?
I mean, that's. I mean, like, if you just made it like Ant-Man and the Superior Foes of Spider-Man, that's a friggin' book.
That'd be a great book. I mean, it is what it is already.
That is what it is.
But all right, Gwen team, we got to move on to the next character, next book, all right? Because now we're talking about Ant-Man. That's next week. We're not there yet.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, Gwen Sal, Gwen Rob, Gwen Drake, Gwen Joel, Gwen Faust.
Well, that name's stuck now. It's Gwendrol.
I like Gwen Drake. I need to get one of those hoodies.
All right, time to go on to the Uncanny Avengers, which has Deadpool. Literally
slow to start, but I liked it.
Dude,
I
it is
love how half
so
the
well
team
written.
went the first issue to not work with Deadpool.
Dude, I love that. Like, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, isn't the team supposed to have Spider-Man? And Spider-Man, like, within the first 3 pages, it's like, if Deadpool stays, I'm leaving. And Captain America's like, well, then sorry about your luck. And he's like, well, then I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, I'm totally on board for that.
Now, did we know for certain if it was Peter in the mask? Because his color outline was different, and he never takes his mask off the whole issue, and he's got all these other Spider-Men running around. Wouldn't that be a fun twist that it was someone else?
I think it's Peter Parker. Peter Parker's the only one who really would have a problem with Wade. Yeah. I mean, like, Miles Morales is like, who's the Deadpool guy who looks kind of like me?
No,
honestly, I have a weird feeling with this whole Spider-Man having multiple. I think that is only ever going to be referenced in Amazing. Like these multiple Spider-Mans are not going to pop up anywhere else.
No, that would make sense. Just only for the simple fact that you got Parker Industries and you need multiple Spider-Man and that kind of stuff. But like, no, I think that like, okay, with Uncanny Avengers, like I think it's written perfect for Deadpool. Like it's a perfect team for Deadpool. One, because it's not over the top zany. Because I mean, I like zany Deadpool occasionally. Like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, but it gets to a point where it's just like, oh my god, like.
Well, it's Duggan doing it. The guy who's it's Duggan doing it. Who's done the main.
Polarizing. That's in my house.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like for me, the story's written perfect for Deadpool because it's a combination of like it's like 9 parts serious and 1 part Deadpool. And so you've got like Rogue, you've got all these things going on. You got Steve Rogers leading the team, and you got all that kind of stuff. Which, Rogue being the Inhuman and all that, and the new Synapse Inhuman.
Wait, Rogue's an Inhuman now?
Well,
no.
She's not Inhuman, but she's
infected by the Inhuman disease.
She's dying because of Terrigen Mist.
Yeah, she has to inject herself. She's like Tony Stark from Iron Man 2, where she's got to inject herself with stuff all the time. But like,
okay, see,
she looks really much worse than him.
Oh yeah. Oh, she looks really bad. Yeah.
Well, I've always had this philosophy: you either read X-Men or everything else in Marvel.
Right.
But it's really hard to keep up with everything.
Well, that's how it is now. Like you're reading X-Men or everything else. Like they're
distinct universes. The X-Men are separated. Yeah.
Here's my thing. Why in every book that Rogue is in for the past few years has she just been shat on? Like,
It's true.
I don't know what that is, man. Like, I really don't, because Rogue is Rogue's a fan favorite character, and she's most beloved because I'm positing that her popularity is all from the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont '90s cartoon show Rogue.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And it's like Marvel's been like working for the last 20 years to not give us that Rogue. And it's so,
I'm sorry.
so
Did you
hard.
like this?
Yeah, they were like, did you like this? Because that's the one thing we won't do. We will give you nostalgia boners for everything. But Rogue being a Southern belle who just can't touch anybody, like, you can't have that.
Yeah, no, like go read Rogue. Go read like anything. Go read any X-Men comics from like 1994, and like you'll see a carbon copy of it. Like you could transpose like. The
Oh my
two of
God,
them
yeah.
from one
But I love you, but I can't touch
exactly
you.
it, man. Like that's exactly it. And like I love that.
Rabbit.
And like, what is it? I posted something on Twitter at one point, and I was like, I don't under like, what's the whole hype about Rogue? And somebody, maybe it was Sal. Somebody was like, I think like that version of Rogue helped a lot of boys get through puberty.
I did not say that. I
But
agree.
okay, but like somebody said that.
Gave us all a thing for accents.
Yeah, like that was like she was a great
I
character.
do like Southern Belle accents now.
She was the only member of the X-Men who didn't have a Canadian accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about that? Eh?
I'm gonna stab you with my claws, eh? But
Well, he still can have the Canadian accent.
I'm just saying, like no, like Wolverine never said, like he never talked like a Canadian.
He had the Joel back. I think he's got a little. Everyone had a little bit of a bout.
Well, what about that? Eh.
Yeah, but it was never like when you saw him talk. He never used like stereotypical Canadian
in comics,
stuff.
in comics they never. While they did write phonetically, like in To Kill a Mockingbird for Rogue, they never added like Canadian affectations for Wolf. But in that cartoon show, they're all voiced by Canadian actors.
Yes,
yes.
they are.
It just so happened that they also got Wolverine right by accident.
Let me blow your mind about the guy who does the voice of Wolverine. The guy who did the voice of Wolverine in the 90s X-Men cartoon also did the voice of Slappy the Dummy from Goosebumps.
Really?
Yes, I'm not making that up. That's a real thing.
Did he have the same kind of Grammy voice? Where he was...
No, not at all. He's a great actor. You couldn't even tell that they were the same person.
Let me blow your mind even more. Because the X-Men cartoon was a direct result of the Pride of the X-Men cartoon,
Yes.
Wolverine, right up till the last minute, was going to have an Australian accent.
I know, right?
Are you
Unbelievable.
serious?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
In
you've
Pride
never
of the
seen
X-Men,
Pride of the X-Men?
Oh, I saw Pride
What
of the
is
X-Men.
Pride
And
of the
in
Pride of the X-Men was the pilot that led into... dude, Pride of the X-Men is terrible.
Pride of the
Yeah.
X-Men is a prelude to the X-Men freestanding arcade machine from the
Yeah,
90s,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is awesome. It's undisputedly one of the best side-scrolling
Oh, yeah.
arcade
Oh, yeah.
of the time. You
Welcome
can play
to
6
die.
different characters. You have 2 different TVs next to each other. It's amazing.
No,
The Pride of the X-Men was this failed pilot that looked great. It looked like the best episode of G.I. Joe you've ever seen.
Yes, it did.
But for no reason whatsoever, Wolverine has an Australian accent, which they carried over in his Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends when he crossed over with the X-Men. Wolverine does have an Australian accent in that episode too, which is like the TV people were like, I guess he has an Australian accent.
And somewhere,
mate.
somewhere, a young Hugh Jackman saw that, and he's like, one die, that'll be mine.
Yeah, and they're like,
Grow these sideburns.
they're like, all right, you're hired, but he's Canadian, so drop that.
Oh,
But yeah, no, like you know, it's Uncanny Avengers is it's to me. I think that's as long as they keep the writing the way it is, as long as they don't change. I guess when they change writers, because they will.
Oh, yeah. They
Like,
will.
Hopefully, it doesn't get like too screwed up.
I like Duggan.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, Duggan's solid. But the way it's written right now, it's a perfect, because you read it and you're like, okay, Deadpool fans will look at this and say, this is clearly a comic about Deadpool.
Right.
But like non-Deadpool fans will say, this is clearly a comic about the Avengers, and Deadpool just happens to be there. Like,
Right.
What I like about it is that Captain America brings it all the way back to the first Uncanny Avengers from a couple years ago, where he's like, no, this team is a unity squad to bring together Avengers veterans and street-level heroes and
mutants and
mutants.
humans, and I guess
Which-
Inhumans.
Yeah, mutants and
I'll have a
humans, which
rogue
we need to
breakdown
do
of
because
the
you guys
story.
hate each other now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I avoided it because of Deadpool. So if it's good, I guess I'll buy it and read it. But I just
You're gonna have
cannot
to.
stand Deadpool.
Welcome
I
to your
bought it
job.
because I'm buying anything with mutants in it at the moment, just to say to Marvel, you know, I do like mutants in the Marvel
Right.
universe. Keep
Yeah.
them around,
Well,
please.
No, okay, no, they
Every
would
mutant
kill
became
them all.
inhuman.
Oh my God, Iron Man hinted that they're gonna have genocide.
Yep. They
sure
Okay, well,
did.
speaking of that, actually, I want to bring up this one because we have new books coming out tomorrow. Is anybody else aware that like Amazing Spider-Man and Iron Man are already going on to issue 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
What?
no. Full steam ahead.
I feel like those first issues were banked issues, and it's like, okay, well now it's the real first
No,
issue.
those first issues weren't gambles. Like
Yeah.
they were. I mean, they were clearly written solid. Like because I assume you guys are talking about like Invincible Iron Man and Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No, no. To me, I never read those as gambles. I read those as in like we're going all in.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
how
read
I
the same
looked at
thing.
it. So.
Yeah.
So, all right, next topic on our list. How do you guys feel about Sam Wilson and Jane Foster being the new Marvel power couple?
Why not?
Whatever.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Does no one else see the problems with Sam Wilson sleeping with a cancer patient?
dude. Okay,
Here's the thing. We haven't
She's
seen.
not even like mild. She can't even stand up unless she's holding the hammer. Like
Dude,
we're not
I
talking
posted-
like,
I
Which
posted
makes
that.
me wonder. Which makes me wonder if that's going to be a thing in her book, where she's like, "I'm only dying of cancer when I'm not Thor. I'm just going to keep being Thor forever now."
Dude,
That would be amazing.
I mentioned that to maybe it was I think it was Faust. I was like, it's kind of a cool concept, but it makes you question like the moral stance of Sam Wilson if he's having sex with a dying cancer patient.
Like,
Like,
she
it's
can't even
kinda
stand
messed
up. We're not talking like, oh, she's a cancer patient who just got diagnosed and she's just going through therapy and
It's
she
her call, man. Like I have no problem with that.
Yeah, but he's
and
only
also,
getting
cancer
with
patients
it
need
when
love
she's-
too, guys. Come on.
Okay, but then let's go even further than that. Like, how long have they been planning this? Because don't forget, the two of them, sort of, him becoming Captain America and her becoming Thor, was
Yeah, same
kind of
time.
announced around the same time. So
Yeah.
it just makes me think, okay, either them getting together as a direct result of that, or it's been planned for that long.
Right.
Well, and here's something else I wanted to see is we haven't seen the new Thor. Do you
No.
think that she's just gonna magically be okay, and we're gonna like reference how she cured it? Like, you know
Oh,
what?
God, no.
Forget the cancer patient thing. We're just gonna move forward.
No, I mean
It
that's,
has
that's the
been 8
basis
months,
of her character. That's the whole point of her character. Is like whenever she becomes Thor. See, that's why I told people, like, I can guarantee you this is Jane Foster, and people were like, why? And I said because whenever it was that that Thor, whenever Donald Blake used the hammer and became Thor, his limp went away. And whenever he went back to Donald Blake, he got his limp back. And I was like, so it'd be easy for them for Jason Aaron to say, well, when Jane Foster becomes Thor, she's not sick anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not uncommon to see hair colors change and the whole 9 yards for a person
Yeah.
to look like Thor. And so that's obviously what happened. And I think that's like the crux of her character. Like, yes, she's dying, whatever.
It also
make the
creates
last
an
thing.
identity crisis.
Yeah, but
too.
they've
It's like, do
already-
you want to be you and die, or do you want to be Thor and be fine?
Well, no, because
And
they've
also
already,
bang
they've
Sam
already even
Wilson.
referenced this though. They've already referenced it where Thor even like, well, Odin's son now even said like, we can cure you. We have the magic. And she's like, no, I'm gonna deal with this like a normal human. And it's kind of like why? And then secondly, why aren't we just like maybe that like we're gonna come with Thor #1? She's perfectly fine. Yeah, no, I went with the magic thing. I'm fine.
Well, you see, Benny, when she
Well,
holds the hammer, she's an Asgardian, so she doesn't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's-
also,
It would, it
like,
would
where,
be
where was that
interesting to
magic in 1982 when like Captain Marvel died of cancer? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
it would be interesting to see like what happens when she dies, because like there are people saying, oh, when she dies she's just going to be reborn
Right.
as a full Asgardian, like so she's just going to be an Asgardian all the time, or she's going to go away to Valhalla or something. And I'm just like, I just want her to die and then everyone deal with it. I know that sounds bad, but
But
I
I
want
like her. She's a
Well,
great.
I mean, that's what's going to
I
happen.
like her too.
Like, I mean, it's going to get to the point where like I would be willing to wager that this all new, all different Marvel is a test bed for Jane Foster Thor. And if she doesn't succeed, if the sales don't boost, if Marvel has like a threshold and she doesn't meet that threshold after a certain amount of time,
Well, she's been
they're gonna
exceeding
say-
them so far.
she has been. But the problem
Yeah.
is that was up until this point. And so now you
yeah, they
have
put her on
all new-
hiatus.
Yeah, well now you have all new, all different Marvel.
Yeah, but they did
And
the
you-
reveal finally. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, the
Yeah.
reason everyone got the book was they wanted to know what the heck was happening. Like, who is she? What's the story? It's been revealed. Now,
But
is it going to keep selling?
Is it going to keep selling? And if it doesn't, then, well, I mean, gosh, Jane Foster just succumbed to her cancer, and now Odin's son is Thor again, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I can guarantee
then
that's what's going to happen.
But then people do still have a reason to keep reading, which is she going to die from her cancer or not, or
Right,
is she
yeah.
going to be cured?
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying Jason Aaron's writing bad stories. Like, he's got a really, really good.
Yes,
like,
you did.
He's
Y'all
got
heard
the
you
really
say
good.
that. I'm going to tweet him that Rob says
Tweet it at Jason Aaron right now.
Like
I'm gonna do it right
Jason
now.
Aaron, just so you know,
suck.
like, this guy Rob said that like your story sucks.
This guy.
he's like, who's Rob?
Yeah. At Comics Explain, hashtag hate Thor.
One of the largest comic
absolutely
channels
agree.
out there. Let's have a look at this.
But no, like what Jason Aaron, I will say this, what Jason Aaron's doing right now is writing one heck of a story.
Oh
The
yeah,
problem is,
an epic saga from like the
Exactly.
beginning of his run to even now.
The question is,
Amazing.
are people reading it because they're genuinely interested in Jane Foster Thor, or are they reading it because they're just kind of curious to see how things turn out? And if it
would
gets to the
hope.
point where either, because he's going to have to come to a crossroads, the cancer thing can't last forever. And when it gets to a point where either she's cured or she's not, what's going to happen? And if she says, well, she stays alive and she's cured, is that interest still going to be there? If she
Yeah.
dies, well, then of course the mantle goes over to Thor, goes back to Odin's son. So,
Right.
What I can't wait for is, again, if Sam is with Jane now, I mean, I really want Odinson to get in there and be like, what is up, friends? Seriously, 'tis my lady thou art with. Lady Jane, I must this know for my own ego. 'Tis new bow larger than I?
Dude, I loved when you said that. Like when you posted that in the chat, I love that because I was sitting here thinking like, I just want to see like this great big huge like old English diatribe, and then like Sam Wilson's like, man, you snooze, you lose, dude. I don't know what to say.
You have broken
funniest thing
greatest
is
code, bros before hoes.
The funniest thing I find about this entire discussion about Sam Wilson and Jane Foster is Sam Wilson apparently is so uninteresting that we just moved over to talk about female Thor, basically.
yeah.
Oh, Sam Wilson's not interesting at all. I mean, he's Captain America, cool. Like whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares?
Captain
Still
Phillips
not-
try-
that's cool.
He tries his best.
Really
No, no, I mean, no. See, that
There is
raises,
an A for effort.
yeah, like that raises a really good question. Like Steve Rogers in and of himself wasn't really cool.
He's
It
fascinating.
was no, I didn't think it was fascinating. Like he was literally
I
the
love
guy that was always like from the time that he first appeared in issue number 4 to the time that they canceled. Like he was always in the event. He was like the one guy who was always there.
Yeah.
Like he was always there in the event. Like the stories he was in were cool, and like him leading the team was cool. But when you break that down and you look at Steve Rogers as a person, there's like 5 story arcs over the course of his history that I care about. One was when like Peggy Carter died, Civil War, when he lifted Thor's hammer. Like there's a handful of stories that he has that matter. When he first met Sam Wilson, like there's only a few of them. But like Steve Rogers as a person, it's like, I mean, he's a guy that is super strong,
He's got a shield.
and has a shield.
Speaking of which, before we move on, I'm gonna jump onto this Captain America thing with when Captain America throws his mighty shield.
All those who
All those who oppose it. All those who
All
choose
those
to
who
oppose
oppose
it.
it.
What a great time to throw that song in.
Honestly, I wasn't a huge fan of Steve Rogers until I read the Marvel Now run where he was in the Zola dimension.
Yeah,
Like,
Okay, that was pretty
that
good.
was a great.
That was a great run.
Yeah.
yeah,
With,
all
like-
those all that backstory really got me interested in him, and I really want more of him. And then, oh, okay, so Sam's Cap now. Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know, man. It's just
I really dug Captain America Reborn was really great. Mark Wade's run on Captain America was,
Captain
of course,
America
amazing
White's
with
not so bad
Uncanny.
so far.
I mean, Ed Brubaker was really okay. I will
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that, like Ed Brubaker's run, Bucky Barnes was cool. But like
My
I said, I
favorite.
mean, for me, a lot of those stories are good because of the situation. Like Bucky Barnes coming back was cool, and the Winter Soldier was cool. Captain America wasn't particularly interesting. He's like, oh my god, Bucky's alive, and it was like, okay, cool. But I was like, what's going on with Bucky? Like that was my main focus there. And
Right,
Ed
that was
Brubaker did a
your-
really good job telling that story. And like the death of Captain America was extremely well written, and I really enjoyed that. But for me, whenever I look at like Steve Rogers comics, it is like the context of the story is what makes Steve Rogers interesting, not Steve Rogers himself. And
I've always found him better when he's on a team. It's
Oh, yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah.
like honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Superman as a solo story because the stories just aren't interesting. But when he's on a team, I love his dynamic with everyone else. It looks
That's
more
me and
similar.
Wonder
Better.
Woman. I hate her solo series, but I
But,
love
and that's
her.
just, that's how I feel about Captain America. I love him as an Avenger. I love him on the Uncanny Avengers. I love him everywhere else. But whenever he's by himself, I'm like, now I'm bored. Now you just have a guy with a shield.
exactly.
I will
And-
admit
and
that's how I am with Batman. I don't like Batman, but I like
Oh.
the
I disagree. I
family.
love
wow.
the Batman.
Can we
stories.
kick Faust out of the podcast?
That's too
You
unpopular
need
even for
one
me.
person who's not wild about Batman. That's totally
True.
fine.
No,
That is
I'm
not
foreign.
allowed on the Weekly Batman.
like
I'm foreign. It's okay.
I agree with the team element. Like I like the Steve Rogers of like, okay guys, we're in a situation where we're clearly over our heads, but I'm gonna get us out of it, and here's how. You and you go do this, and you two go do that, and then we'll survive and we'll win. And it's like awesome story. It was really well written. I love it. It was great. But then it's like Captain America by himself, like, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. It's like, okay.
Lots of great
whatever.
stories.
I'm
You
putting
can go
this out there
to.
now.
Testament to
One of you
what
guys
kind of-
wants to be my weekly podcast, The Weekly Batman, where we discuss the Weekly Batman books. Someone has to want to.
Yeah.
There's
I mean, I
plenty
read
of
the
them.
The
Batman
weekly Batman
books.
books.
I just don't like. I just want to clarify. I like
Stop
the
talking. You don't like
Batman.
Batman.
I mean, I thought about like experimenting with like an opinion show because like my channel's all about like fact. Like here is the story. I'm like, is the story good? No, it sucks, and here's why.
Rob's opinion on Batman.
You know, yeah, but
Yeah.
No, for the I'm grabbing Joel. We're gonna do weekly Batman and Sal. Me, Joel, and Sal. We're doing the weekly Batman.
I mean, I'd say
There's plenty of Batman books. I mean, that new Batman Robin Eternal, I've been digging it.
I
All
haven't
right,
been reading
we're
it.
doing the weekly
Actually.
Batman now. That's it. It's official. We'll start it. We'll start it this Friday. I don't know. We'll think of something. Anyway, moving on. 2 new X-Men TV shows. You guys discussed because I don't even know these exist.
Yeah,
This
what are
Legion
these?
and New Mutants, I think.
No, Legion and Hellfire Club.
No,
Hellfire
Legion
Club.
and Hellfire Club, I'm really interested in. Legion, no, I'm not, and I don't understand why they're making it.
Yeah, I'm not watching either of those shows. I don't care. I don't care about them.
They're going to be split
Unless-
between 2 Fox networks. The Legion one apparently isn't going to be in continuity, but the Hellfire Club one is because it's going to focus on Emma Frost in the 60s before First Class, and it's very confusing.
Yeah, sure.
Good
That sounds
luck.
like fun.
Yeah, like
No,
good luck getting what to say. No, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't watch
I
that.
love
Like,
you, Sal.
I mean, okay, I would.
don't
love to
care.
see-
Like, I'm not gonna pretend to like watch a show and do shows about. Oh, so in today's episode of Hellfire Club, Emma Frost and whoever Toad had a fight. Like, nobody cares.
Is it going to be like a soap opera? Is it literally all them going to be sitting around in Hellfire Club, like evening shares and everything,
It'll
just
be like-
drinking Chianti?
It'll be like Downton Abbey meets Hannibal.
Let's be
I
real
like
here.
Hannibal.
Let's be real here. It's X-Men being done by Fox. Has that been done right so far? No. So,
I like
But-
First Class.
But we have all accepted it as being okay. It's not going to be right, but they're kind of close.
Yeah, like the fact is, we needed Fox to we needed that first X-Men movie, or we wouldn't be here.
Right.
yeah, we needed that first X-Men movie.
And
But,
Spider-Man.
like,
And
You know,
X2 is
someti-
so much better.
but
Yep.
sometimes you've just got to accept, like, you're not gonna get it right. So
Wolverine
stop.
will never wear his costume.
Right.
No, this is the same guys who refused to give up on Fantastic Four, so...
Which,
Let it
which,
go,
which
guys.
leads to the question, too, the fact that they were allowed to do these shows means they had to have reached a major deal with Marvel, and what did they get in exchange for that? I know there was rumors flying around there. Did they finally get...
There was official word from both sides. We're like, no.
So,
No,
did just money change hands, or what changed hands here over this?
Unbelievable that they won't give up Fantastic Four
Dude,
yet.
I
You know,
really want
it's
to
borderline
believe.
irresponsible at this point.
Yes, it is.
Like, I
yes, it
really
is.
want to believe that, like, when that rumor surfaced, and Fox like was forced to issue a statement saying no, we did not give up the rights.
Yeah.
And somebody at Fox was like, they really hate our movie that bad, like
Right. Like,
damn.
Like,
You know,
make that deal right away. Like, damn.
like is
maybe
the
they're
world
right.
really that excited that we don't have the rights to the Fantastic? Did we
Yeah.
do that bad of a job?
Were there
That
more
was-
people? Were there more people happy with us for having given up the rights to a movie than us releasing one?
yeah.
How much goodwill could you have gained by giving something up?
Honestly,
These
I don't
X-
like the Fantastic Four.
but this-
Like, it's people.
But these X-Men TV shows aren't the first time that they've tried to do an X-Men TV show. Like,
Oh no! Don't talk about Generation X.
oh no, I'm not
Oh,
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about. I think it had been March or something. They tried applying to do a New Mutants show, which is why,
That's
like, when
right,
we were
they
in
did.
chat, I talked about the New Mutant show, and apparently it was rejected. So if they're willing to reject a New Mutant show because they're not getting that right, how the hell are they going to get the Hellfire Club right? And make that interesting.
Well-
Or Marvel just allowing them to do it because the pitch was so god awful that
Oh,
if
that's
it's
exactly
wrong-
right.
Yeah,
That-
they're gonna let them bomb so that they can finally give up all their fucking rights and they can get their shit back.
It really could have been just like the deal was they went to Marvel and they're like, so here's the pitch for the shows. We would like to have these blah blah blah, and Marvel was just like, yeah, go for it, because damn. Because I saw your Ivan Ooze Apocalypse, and these two pitches are just the last nails in the coffin.
You can
I don't-
only hurt yourself.
I don't need to buy Fantastic Four from you. You'll give them to me in 4 years.
Dude, I would love to see if that's the case, because here's exactly how that would play out. Like, there'd be some interview at some point if the rights get reverted back, and like somebody interviews Kevin Feige, and they're like, so, with the disaster that was the Hellfire Club TV show and the Legion TV show, and you guys getting the right back to the Fantastic Four, how does this all play out? And all he would do is just look at the camera, and you can tell by the one look he gives you, like, we've been planning this shit forever.
He's like, sure, guys, I'll give you the rope in which you can use to hang yourself.
Yeah, exactly. No, please.
Like, we knew this was gonna happen. Like, believe me, like, as soon as we saw the pitches, and that's how I know that Fox has no clue what's happening. Because one, it'd be different if they were making a TV show about like groups that matter, but like they're making TV shows about groups that nobody cares about. When was the last time?
Past.
Yeah, like when was the last time anybody was like, you know what, I would really love to see a TV show about the Hellfire Club.
I don't even know who the.
I kind of see where they're going with
It's
this.
like, wow, that's nothing I want to watch. That's nothing.
Well, no,
I wanna watch.
here's the problem is I think they're doing what CW is doing, because CW is taking a lot of obscure characters and concepts that are solid, but they don't have a lot of history to play with. So you can do what you want.
Flash, it's so obscure.
Well, no, but everybody else on the Flash is. The Earth 2 stuff isn't that deep.
Sand
The Legends
Demon.
of Tomorrowcast are super. They don't exist. And I think that's what Fox is like. Oh, that works. What is almost non-existent in there? Hellfire Club. Oh, let's use whatever the hell that is.
Well, like,
Yeah,
we'll
because
just,
that's
we'll
something
just
people
take
are
it
trying
because
to
then we'll own it. It'll be ours. We can do whatever we want with it. We don't have to worry about what the fans want because half of them don't even know what this is.
Okay,
Let's see,
if they
I
want to
mean-
get the X-Men right, like if I'm just gonna be outright
they
honest
don't.
here, if they're going to, but if they're going to get the X-Men right, they need to realize that the X-Men, as much as it has action in it, is not an action comic. It's a melodrama.
It's a soap
comic.
opera.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's about like social issues, which is, while good television, too controversial. Like I'm not gonna risk losing viewers because I want to do a show that could be an allegory for racial or sexual orientation. Like I'd rather just make a show that is easy to churn out by like a staff of writers who have been writing Castle for the last 6 years. And just make that. It'd be so much easier and faster.
I agree, man. Like,
But that's why the X-Men will never work on TV. They'll work as a movie,
Oh.
but even if they do it as a movie, it needs to be done as a cheap indie movie.
Well,
The
the
action
thing is-
sequence needs to be at most 10 minutes because it just doesn't work as
What's
a
hilarious
movie.
is the X-Men could easily be a show because the X-Men should be topical and like right on the cutting edge of whatever social issues are going on right
It
now.
should be
Like
a
that-
high school drama.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
should be
cartoons
really, yeah.
did it.
Yeah, the cartoons did it, but the cartoons also, like especially the one that we like, was so just literally ripped from the comics, and somehow also managed to, while they did make occasional Marvel references, had no real tether to any Marvel property. They just did it because they could, because Avi Arad was working on it and whatever. But like. The fact is that X-Men cartoon show was so within its own universe, you never needed any tether to the Marvel universe at all.
Nope.
And it was just so, but it was so directly translatable. And it's like, why is that so hard for you guys? Like, I don't understand.
yeah, like it was so within its own universe. They launched a comic book series based on that universe.
Right?
Like,
And I haven't had any problem with, like, it's not conflicting with anything.
No,
Like-
and that's the kicker with the X-Men. Like I agree with Faust. Like if you were going to do the X-Men right, like here's a perfect example. If you want to know how controversial the X-Men comics can be, go read God Loves Man Kills, and you'll get to about the 10th page, maybe the 15th page, and you'll see Chris Claremont drop the N-bomb.
Well, and
Because,
and some will say that like that was kind of bullshit. Like that Chris Claremont has no real that's reaching. But regardless,
it was a perspective of like it was disparity among like cultures is all it was designed to represent. But like
Yeah.
like that was the point that he was making. But the fact remains, like that's how controversial the X-Men can be. And I don't want to watch an X-Men TV show and feel like I'm watching something from Disney XD. I want to watch an X-Men TV show and feel like I'm watching some like mod of the Game of Thrones or something like that. Like something dark, something serious. I mean, not necessarily in the same level where
Look,
it's like.
I'll be the guy that puts it out there. As long as they get Emma Frost's boobs right, we're good. I'll watch the show.
That's
But-
basically,
Yeah,
that's basically
yeah.
what it is. I think at the
got
end of the
that.
day, that's all that matters. Like, I want to see some chick with great big boobs that are just kind of hanging out and just.
Look, if I'm
barely
watching
showing
it,
their-
if I'm gonna watch a Hellfire Club show, I want it to be a little fetishy and messed up. I want it to be corsets
Okay,
and
you
like
just
leather and just
You
everything.
had to take my funny joke and be like, no, I want to see bondage and whipping.
and
if
it
you
should
are-
be like American Horror Story meets the mutants.
Yes,
if you-
please.
Going back like a few like just sort of responding to what Rob said, the X-Men shouldn't always be dark though. Like they have fun with their powers. They just use their powers for anything because they're so
They
proud
play
of
baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen the X-Men play baseball? Like 5.
And it's
Hey,
great
everybody, let's
every
go to the field
time.
and play baseball. Like, just don't destroy the ball this time, Cyclops.
Yeah, exactly.
you're good.
Wolverine, your claws aren't a bat.
And that's the whole thing with the X-Men. They love their powers. They love the fact they have their powers, and they want the rest of the world to sort of see the beauty in what they are.
Yeah,
but everyone's so scared of that, and then they just Fox just don't get that because they're sort of equating being different to being bad, and anyone who is different obviously feels just so terrible. And
it feels. Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say it feels more like Fox would do well with a Hulk show because it's about someone who hates their powers and it's a curse. But no, X-Men, if we're gonna use the mutant thing as an allegory for any kind of social issue, it's like they should be proud of it and happy with it and comfortable in their own skin. And the Xavier Institute should be the most normal, cool-looking thing you've ever seen because it's all a group of people who are accepted for who they are and also people. So
some of the characters can have the whole this is
yeah,
the
ones who are melting or who are rogue, you could have that,
right, and that way you get your fill of that, but it needs to be uplifting as well. That's who the fucking X-Men
That's all I freaking care about.
Well, that's the X-Men have kind of moved away from the whole hope thing in every way since I guess the 90s anyway, because Xavier's dream is proven to be impossible, but only because sales allow the X-Men to exist. If the dream was achievable, they would have friggin' achieved it with the world's greatest telepath and Captain America on speed dial. That should have been a thing already, but the fact is we need to sell X-Men books, we need conflict.
Isn't that the entire premise, or premise, sorry, the entire premise of Uncanny X-Men? With Cyclops being like, look, our plan isn't achievable. I'm starting the revolution.
That's basically what he said. His
idea was... that's not socially relevant. Cyclops being let's turn some cars over and set things on fire. That's certainly a social issue that we can address, but that's nothing hopeful about that.
You know what they could do, and you know what would be really hilarious if they did, is if they made the show and then they retconned the LA riots and were it was because Cyclops was angry.
Oh,
and he freaked out and he destroyed a car in LA and people just started freaking out.
Shit like Ferguson, the whole Trayvon Martin thing, that whole stuff could be allegory that the X-Men were on top of back in the day.
Yeah. But see, you won't.
And it's sad that the X-Men comics aren't tackling that stuff.
Right? It would be great.
If they wanted to do a very relevant thing for mutants, rather than killing them all off and turning them into Inhumans, this is going to the comics kind of thing, rather than doing that, what they would be doing is having a mutant running for the president, but all the media is ignoring them, but every mutant in the world, and a lot of humans absolutely are falling in love with them, but the media will not pay attention to them because they're a mutant and they should not be allowed to be a president. Right. That would be relevant. It's a presidential year.
Bernie Sanders is a mutant, all right.
Well, no, that's the case. That's the case that Cyclops made. During that whole Matthew Malloy thing, Cyclops was if the Avengers save the world, people cheer, but if we save it, they're get the fuck out of here, mutants! We don't like you.
Well, they're that's the entire they downplay the success.
That is the entire plot. And here's the problem that you would have with that is ultimately you would have a situation where most likely if Fox produced a show like that, you wouldn't see that. You wouldn't see real social issues being tackled in the form of, can we take this concept, transpose it onto mutants, change some names, and it's all still the same thing. And people can say, I understand the message that they're sending us. You're literally going to see young adult crap, and you're going to see what looks like a Twilight based, TV show that's modeled after the X-Men, and that's what you're going to get.
Just wait for them to introduce the two new mutants. One who's kind of like a vampire named Eduardo, and
the other guy is a werewolf who's allergic to shirts.
Right.
Stupid.
All right. So that's the X-Men. I mean, at this point, we're just going to loop it around over and over and over. Yep. So let's move on to our last topic. We're running out of time here. How does everyone feel about Hulk being on the new Thor movie? Because I'm excited.
Why not? I want to watch a Thor movie now.
Well, I was going to go see it anyway. Now I have more of a reason to go see it.
Yeah.
So I thought they were shipping off Hulk because the entire reason they sent him off in Civil War was because whichever side he was going to be on would win.
That's exactly the reason.
But Thor's going to need him for Ragnarok. So if you're going to get somebody to help you out, wouldn't you get the most powerful Avenger out there?
I'm so on board because Dark World teased us so frustratingly about it. There was no reason for any Avenger to not show up. I would have taken Hawkeye in Dark World, and it would have been pretty cool. Or just to complete it, put Black Widow on there, just to add insult to injury. Hey, guess who's not getting a movie? You.
Well, we did get Loki impersonating Captain America for 2 seconds.
That's pretty stupid. Like,
No,
It was funny, though.
I agree because the
Thanks,
problem that
Steph.
we're running into,
No,
we built this awesome cinematic universe where everyone works together and they all team up
Yeah.
and have cameos. But
So they
we're
never
starting
do.
to go in the direction of the comic books where it doesn't make sense that no one's joining in now.
That's right.
And with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we can make it make sense finally. The best thing ever that I read recently in comic books was if you got to the end of the Iron Fist run, he turns into a building and fights a god and crushes buildings. And the newscasters even make the joke of, "Where are the Avengers?" Like,
Okay, like
See,
I'm glad somebody said that because that was my problem. Like I was writing a script the other day, like writing a script for Justice League or something like that. And while I was doing that, like I was going on like basically like a movie marathon for the Marvel Cinematic Universe for a few movies. And one of the things that I missed was like Iron Man 1. And like he's like his suit's being taken apart, and the camera pans to the side, and Captain America's shield sitting there.
they never did anything with that.
Yeah, and never did anything with that. And people were just like, "Oh my God, that was Captain America's shield!" Like, did you see? And it was stuff like that. And you'd see little bits here and there. And it was like, "Hey, everything's kind of connected and kind of building this huge thing." And it seemed like the Marvel Cinematic Universe got to a point where once Avengers happened, they were like, "Well, I mean, what do we do now?"
Yeah.
Like,
Like they
we've
have
got
an
the whole
end
crossover.
game. Like Avengers was the end game, and they're like, oh.
yeah. Like, this is a multi-billion-dollar movie.
Hey, you know,
Like, we need to
they're
do something.
rewriting the rules while they redefine them. I mean, all this whole shared universe stuff in the movies has never been done before. We don't know.
And it's working really well.
Yeah.
It is working
Dark
well, but
World was a great example of why aren't they there? Because the Captain America Winter Soldier made sense that it was Black Ops, and okay, we're not going to call everyone. That made sense.
He didn't
I
know
mean,
who to trust.
I think Hawkeye was supposed to be in that one too, and they were just like, "There's no more time," which is fine because that movie was already
Hawkeye
packed
was
with
Thor.
action.
yeah.
But then there was also
Soldier was-
the Iron Man 3 movie, which came out. I think that was in Phase 2, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
even that one was kind of like, oh, there are like tons of suits flying around, and no one thought to call anybody.
Iron
and then
Man
in Dark
3
World, we're losing the world, and we're
Yeah.
not calling anyone.
The end of Iron Man 3, I think, is more inexcusable than Thor: The Dark World, just because Dark World is like, it's like half an hour, like that climax, like you know what I mean? Like it's like but like the president gets kidnapped by a man who can breathe fire, and no one like I don't know, maybe
Where's
Captain
Captain America?
Freaking America would show up.
Well, see,
But then,
and see,
like,
to me,
that's-
it would have made sense if they had pawned that movie off, and if there had been like a scene somewhere, and like where Tony Stark's where he leaves his home or something like that, and there's something to indicate like Shield is under siege, like Captain America: The Winter Soldier is happening at the same time, like
Or
that
even
make sense.
like you just see him suiting up and leaving, and he just didn't get there in time.
Right.
I just have these images. They could have put a cameo, dude. You just see Chris Evans sitting on a couch, bag of Doritos, and like the news comes on,
like,
and they're
oh.
like, "President's been kidnapped." Oh, somebody should call me.
Looks at his
God, and then,
ID
like,
card,
scripts
just
go
nothing.
everywhere, and like he runs off, throws the suit on, like
You could also
pulling on
just
his boots as he leaves the room.
you could do the same thing where like you could do the same thing that they used to do in the comics whenever they were like, why didn't the Fantastic Four show up? Where Spider-Man's like dealing with Venom and he's like, I better call the Fantastic Four, and they're gone, like they're busy.
Yeah.
And it's like, fair enough. Like you could have literally had a shot with Chris Evans fighting Batroc the Leaper or something, and it's just he's freaking busy, and like there he is over there, like, and that's
like,
so easily
"Hey, Cap,
explainable.
I need your help, and he's like, "Quitting, I'm a little busy. Is this important?"
Yeah, right.
No, you know.
Yeah, you
But
know
then
what?
that-
Like, call me in an hour. Like,
and that's the issue that you run into is they didn't create that dichotomy, like they didn't create that distinguishable difference. Like in the comics, you knew that was the case. Like when you sat down and you cracked open an Iron Man comic, like okay, this is obviously a story about Iron Man, and he was never really going against somebody that was like, or even anyone for that example was going against somebody so world shattering. Like the Fantastic Four at the time with Galactus, okay, but none of the other heroes have been created, so you could pawn it off and say, well, I mean, they just haven't been introduced yet, or at the very least, like they don't know what to do. Or
and the
something
superheroes
like
that were
but-
created were street level. Like, what's Daredevil going to do against Galactus,
Yeah.
especially in
Yeah.
1968?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
Stick
Throws
at him.
Billy Club at him.
yeah, he's like, "Whoa, you missed! How
But
did
the-
you miss?"
But the issue with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that when they made Iron Man 1, they referenced Captain America. When
Yeah.
they made Thor, they referenced other stuff. They were like, these guys exist in the same universe. Like everybody, like anything that happens, if it shows up on TV, if another person's watching TV, they're gonna know about it. In the world of social media and all that kind of stuff, like everyone knows everything. And so,
Or if they're superheroing and someone's like, "Hey, Cap, how come you're not stopping the cloud that's eating London?" And he's like, "What? oh crap, I better get Twitter.
Because I'm Captain America, not Captain London. Duh.
And that was
My powers don't work if I cross the ocean, don't you know?
and that was kind of the annoying thing is like
Unless
they
that
never
country is
addressed
oil,
that.
then I could totally invade it.
Well, like they never
But then
addressed
that's
that.
the
Like,
interesting thing, finally. That's the interesting thing than what they're doing with Ant-Man, because they just did like a smaller scale thing where no one else would have been involved because it was just so small scale.
right.
And-
No, but see, Ant-Man, I think, is the perfect way to do that, because like they did have him go to the Shield compound, and he was there fighting Falcon. Like you can still cross over and do shit, but
it had-
even on a huge scale.
And then
I,
movie had the best
I love
throwaway
how
line
in
too.
Ant-Man even made the reference of, "Hey, I gotta go fight a villain trying to take over the world." You kind of know how that is, you know?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and
that
then
was-
Falcon's like, nah, I mean, like that's too small.
yeah,
It had
that
the
was
best
legitimately,
throwaway
like,
line.
That was the most comic book moment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Mm-hmm.
where you literally had like a 3-page fight between Ant-Man and Falcon, and then they ditch because Falcon's not like Falcon's has to stay on guard the base.
Oh, we're two heroes doing that for the first time. We have to fight now.
well, that was the problem. Is like it'd be different if like Iron Man 3 happened, and then Captain America, you know, the Winter Soldier happened, or something like that, and we obviously they never crossed over. And then like in Age of Ultron, you know, at some point, Steve Rogers was like, "Well, where were you?" You know, when this was happening, or Tony Stark was like, "Well, where were you when I was saving the president?" You know, or something along those lines. But they didn't even reference that. It was just like stuff happened and whatever.
Well,
now
and
we're onto a big thing.
I think that's also
Sal, you
because
froze in a really funny pose, by the way.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's pretty
I think
entertaining.
that has a lot to do with Whedon. Like with Joss Whedon being like, I don't like all this shared universe crap. I like making my own stories where I shoot movies about Shakespeare in my house. Like,
I saw that one.
like he what was it? There was a it was one of the, I think it was like Honest Trailer or something like that, and made the great point where they're like, Iron Man 3, the president's kidnapped, nobody shows up. Thor the Dark World, the friggin' world's coming to an end, nobody shows up. But a German old man is in a bunker someplace in the Arctic, and some Hydra agents are there. Call the damn Avengers, everyone, everybody.
Yep.
Which
Like,
they could
really?
only do, which they could only find because Phil Coulson on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got the jump drive with the information
Which, by the
off to
way,
them, and that's how they
cool.
did
I
it.
like that a lot. I you know what? I'm enjoying Shield, and I like the connections between Shield and the Marvel Cinematic Universe are better than the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies between each other. How is that possible? Daredevil is a better connection. Where they're like, look at those assholes up there in that stupid tower. Meh. Bullseye. Like, totally down, by the way. Daredevil Season 2 and Jessica Jones, FES.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty
Totally.
All right, all
Anyway,
right. So
Also, that
before
Star Wars trailer was cool, the end.
Well, actually, I was gonna say everyone was talking about the Star Wars trailer before we end this. Cool, not it doesn't reveal anything. We already knew Han Solo was.
That's what
I
a trailer's supposed to
appreciate
do. Don't ruin movies.
And I appreciate
No, I
that.
agree. But like everyone's like, can you discuss it? And I'm like, what are we gonna discuss? We knew Han Solo was gonna be there. We knew that there was I don't even know his name, but the black guy that's gonna be a lead. We knew there's
Finn.
gonna be a girl that's a lead. And we
Ren.
knew that
Oh, look, yeah, it's Kylo Ren. Look at that. Oh, and then
he's gonna carry on the Darth Vader helmet. Okay, cool.
Have you not been reading any of the Journey to the Force Awakens?
With
Dude,
Star Wars,
there's
I
a
keep waiting for
ton
the
of
whole
stuff out there. No, not just Marvel. There's not just Marvel comics. There's a ton of stuff out
You
there.
got your Shattered Empire.
You got,
yeah,
you got
books.
Star Wars Aftermath. You got all
Yeah, I'm
kinds of
reading
stuff. Like,
I
No, but
love
what I'm
this.
saying
so many
is,
Star Wars
in-
comics right
that,
now.
that trailer, there's nothing to for us to
oh
discuss.
yeah, I agree
If
with
you
that.
want to start doing a Star Wars podcast, Rob, we can totally do that. Trust me, I've been reading a lot of crap.
it's gonna be right after the Weekly Batman.
Yeah.
No.
It's going to be back to back.
We're calling it the Weekly Bat Cast now, so get it right.
Okay, the Weekly Star Bat Cast. I don't know.
The Weekly Starcast.
Hey.
There you go.
You guys are going to be so sick of me running podcasts on this channel.
Oh my god, he's got
Rob, you did it.
podcasts.
Now, okay, so every Wednesday night will now be Joel, Benny, and Sal doing the Weekly Batcast. Every Thursday will be Rob and Benny doing the Weekly Starcast. But screw it, we'll put on a Friday show called the Weekly, or Drake and Benny doing the Weekly Invincicast. 3 people will show up because no one cares about Invincible.
It's
I
a
thought
fucking
we were gonna
amazing
play-
book. It's so good.
It's
Fuck
horrible.
you.
No one likes
Fuck
it.
you. Fuck you.
I thought we were gonna play video games on Fridays.
Oh yeah, we'll do Friday. The Invincicast just got bumped for video games.
we're not doing video games until
Yeah, we're just
like,
gonna do GTA
until
heists.
when zombies come
Ah,
out.
there
then
you
we'll do
go.
video
Oh
games.
no,
Like,
we're finally gonna do that, Rob. Every Friday, you and I are gonna stream. We are gonna do it. Like
Are we
now
actually
that
gonna
I'm
do
not.
this?
Well, here's
Yeah.
the issue, and you guys can vouch for this. We were traveling like every 2 weeks to crap.
oh my god. We're traveling. We're
doing-
traveling 2 weeks now. Like we're going to Los Angeles, and a week later we're going to Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, for the record, anybody who lives in LA, we'll be at Los Angeles Kamikaze. Myself, Sal, and Rob. We didn't invite the other boneheads.
How dare you?
It happens.
Yeah. But wouldn't you love to see the wonder and splendor that is Rhode Island?
Oh yeah. And
I was talking
literally
more Los
a week
Angeles.
after LA's Kamikaze, Rob, Sal, and myself will be in Rhode Island doing a actual panel. We're gonna do the Weekly Poll live.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
No doubt.
While Joel and Faust can't travel out of their countries, I might force Jake to show up. Drake to show up.
I mean,
Well,
it's Rhode
like
Island, though. What the hell is there?
The Rhode Island Comic Con on November 6th.
Which, by the way, like
okay.
when we initially were like the Rhode Island Comic Con, we were like, I mean, that's not like a huge con, is it? We looked online. That con is huge. Like it's getting some big names. And so we were like, dang.
And to answer your question there, Benny, I would love to travel outside the country. The only problem is this ankle bracelet I'm forced to deal with, you know?
Well, dude, just like cut it off and leave it on the table.
There you go.
People.
Ain't that big of a deal.
Honestly, I would fly Faust somewhere if it wouldn't cost $2,000 to get him out of his country.
I just want to throw this out there. I'm going to be at London Comic Con this weekend.
Oh, so am I.
Yeah.
Wait, you're actually going?
No, I'm kidding.
We can never tell with Benny.
No, you really can't.
Yeah.
Well, he mentioned last week that he might be going.
No,
I was
we actually, Natalie and I were debating going, but we're not. So.
Aw.
No, but we're not.
you're
No,
not missing anything.
actually, the only reason we're not is because next week is LA, and then a week after that I have to be in Rhode Island, and I'm just now recovering from the New York Comic Con crud. So,
Yeah.
like, I do not want to go out of the country and get London crud. Like,
Man, I am ready for con season to be over. Like once we're done with Rhode Island, like I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
Like, hey Rob, we should go here. Nope.
Nope.
Oh yeah, no. As soon as Rhode Island's over, I'm done for 3 months. The next thing I'm going to is MagFest.
I'm
Drink
so
me,
jealous.
lunch it.
Hey, yeah, I've got MagFest, and then I've also got KatoriCon and like a bunch of winter cons. So that'll be fun.
My convention season doesn't end till March. I'm so jealous.
Not me. Like Rhode Island in for me, and then I ain't doing nothing until like September of next year.
When are you guys going to
He's
jump
like, I'm not
the border
doing
and come
crap
to a
until
Canadian
next New
thing?
York Comic Con.
Next New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Joel?
All right, well, I think
I was going to
that's
say,
it.
when are you guys going to jump the border and come to a Canadian con and show the Canadian fans some
I'm
love?
going to Fan Expo next year.
I was
Oh,
offered to go
Oh.
to the Con Bravo, but then they're like, nah, we're good.
I think
I'm probably going to go to Fan Expo and Con Bravo next year. The only reason I didn't go this year is because you basically told me, like, after I'd already booked all my crap.
Ah, well, there you
Plus,
go.
we weren't as good of friends as we are now.
Oh,
Now, guys, just every night, me and Joel, we call each other, we whisper sweet nothings. Hey, Joel,
Hey, did you hear about
I believe
Batman?
that.
that's
let's
basically
talk about the latest Batman. You and me.
Yeah.
I might be going to
Whisper
Ottawa
sweet
Pop
nothings.
Expo, Joel, if that helps.
Hey,
What?
nice.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
going
love
to
when you
any
say that,
conventions.
like, oh, Ottawa.
Like, nope, I'm not going.
Like,
Hey!
well, that's cool.
It would still be a big travel for me, you know, me being Ontario based. I'd still have to, you know, get outside my own province. But I mean,
Yeah.
No, we're coming to Kamikaze. We'll be there Saturday. And we're going to Kamikaze Saturday, and we're going to New York, Rhode Island Comic Con Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
I know Rob and I aren't going to bother coming in for Friday, so I don't know if Sal is.
I have no idea. Like, probably not.
No, like I'm getting there.
I
on
might
Friday,
drive up
but,
Friday, but
I'm getting there Friday. I'm going to grab Rob. We're going to go get some Maine lobsters, dirt cheap, and that'll be the extent of Friday.
Some Maine lobsters.
Dude, if you haven't had a Maine lobster, then we can't be friends. So
They're good.
I haven't had a Maine lobster.
pretty good.
Well, you'll be allowed to be friends soon.
Awesome.
I'm dying. Ow, that hurt.
Oh.
We'll be friends in 2 weeks. Badass.
It's the Balkan Comic Con. I don't even know where is that. Is that in Balkan?
Yeah.
The Balkan It's in the Balks.
In the Balkans.
The Balkan Seas.
Yeah, I guess so. It's on an oil rig.
Someone explain Canada to me.
Canada.
Well-
Dude,
well,
there was an episode-
Rob explains Canada.
Is that related to America Junior?
Well, you see,
Okay,
we're
you
your
know
closest
how-
trading partners. You
Do you
see.
know how hilarious that would be? Like, make a video, like, explaining Canada, and just be like, Canada is like a poor man's United States.
Then like even the UK has a version of that for the United States. Like every July, 4th of July, I have a joke saying "Happy Traitor Day, you colonials."
Happy Trader Day.
Well, I understand when you guys want to talk about us, you refer to us as the colonies.
Yeah.
For
Well,
the
you guys
record,
should've followed
I am going to say this. The only idea that I have of anything that happens in Canada is from what I've seen in Trailer Park Boys. So I assume all of Canada is like Trailer Park Boys.
It is. Dude, I will go get my, rum and coke and my pepperoni right now. It's in the other room. I didn't want to eat and drink it while I was on the show.
And a Kong super noob, we will get a lobster roll. I'm from Rhode Island. I actually grew up there 21 years before joining the military. So,
Oh, killer.
I grew up in Warwick, if you're over in that area. So.
That's cool.
Which is basically every area.
Shut up. Just because you can drive through the state in 45 minutes, it means crap.
God, I can't even get from one city to another in 45 minutes.
It
Shut
makes
up,
me
Mr.
happy.
Texas. You went from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
It makes me happy
Alright,
that
guys.
there's at least one state that's smaller than the UK.
All right, and on that note, guys, the weekly poll will be coming to a close today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will be here next Tuesday when Sal fixes his camera.
Yeah.
As usual, I'm Benny the Comic Story, and that is Joel from Cake Joel. That is Faust from It's Super Effective. Why did I forget the name of your channel?
I don't know.
It's not like you say it every week or something.
I know.
It's literally the only one that doesn't have comic in its name.
That is Sal from Comic Pop. That is Rob from Comics Explained, and that is Drake. Anyway.
Trailer or comic, take your pick.
Exactly. All right, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you next week. And I don't know, if Joel's legit, we will be doing Batcast tomorrow.
Well, you might have to wait because Sal and I are having Elseworld Exchange on the same day.
As soon as that happens, I'll jump in and we'll just stream Batcast.
Oh, well, there you go. There
I'm
you
actually
go.
really excited to
Rob
see
and
how
I
that
will
happens.
have StarCast on Thursday, and don't forget about Rob and I trying for the third month in a row to play games on Friday.
Maybe it'll actually happen this time. I
No,
don't
you know why it doesn't happen? Rob sucks at gaming. I said it. That's it. Podcast over. See you all later. Rob is horrible.